You can run an essay contest or a caption contest, anything that requires text entry from the participant, and our system will manage the whole thing for you. So, in order to do this, you're going to want to go to campaigns here on the left, and I've selected contest to filter it down. And there's a couple at the bottom that are good. Like you could do like a longer form, like tell us your story, kind of an essay contest. But there's also a nice short form like caption contest if you want to do something real quick and fun. Like, hey, write a caption for this particular photo that would be, appropriate for our company or something like that. So you might do a caption contest. But what I want to show you guys how to do is more of like an essay contest, a longer form text contest. So to do this, you can preview it first. You can view the setup instructions, but I'm just going to click use this template. And what will happen is our system will create the entire campaign. So all you need to do is just go through and edit it. Make the changes that make the contest right for you. Let's pretend that I am asking people to write an alternate ending to a book that I just wrote. So if I'm a publisher and I just wrote a story that had a lot of engagement and I've got an email list and I want to send this out to all my fans, I want to push it out to social media saying, hey, submit your alternate ending to our essay contest, and everybody in my network is going to vote on it and vote on which is the best alternate ending to this particular book. And they can just type it in, or they can, write it out in Microsoft Word, copy it and paste it into the contest page in order to submit this. So let's create this. So alternate ending essay contest. Display posts. Yes, what this will do is show a gallery of all the submitted essays. Collect entries. This screen will allow them to capture the entry. So it'll allow them to basically fill out their name and contact information, and also the entry itself. So you definitely want to leave both of these checked if you want to have that gallery page and the collect entry page. So you have an option here. You can have a label for submission text entry box. So this is the box where they are actually going to paste their entry. So right here it says type your contest entry here. That's not very great. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to say, since this is going to be kind of a longer response, if it's an alternate ending, I'm going to say paste your alternate ending here. That way they know, if it's longer, they can write it somewhere else and just paste it into this submission box. You would certainly want to add some rules if it is a contest. Maybe you're giving away a first edition signed by you, something like that. So you don't want to just give that away to anybody. So make sure you have rules in place. And we actually give you sample rules. So all you have to do is put this in Google Docs and then do like a find and replace with your company name. And we have a placeholder for the company name. So it'll just replace that with your actual company name. Then I would definitely have it reviewed by an attorney. An alternative to that is to just use ChatGPT and have it write rules for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the link text to my rules in the campaign page to say contest rules, just to make it a little bit more explanatory as to what kind of rules we're talking about here. And there's two things I can do. I can either link to rules that are on my website, or I can just paste the rules here, and that's the way I'm going to do it. I find this easier, and it keeps people on the campaign page, because when they click that contest rules link, it's just going to pop up the rules, and they can close it, and they never will have left the campaign page. So I'm just going to say paste your rules here. Once your attorney approves your rules, then this is where you will paste that information. Now, submission form, you can just use the default form, or let's say there's additional information you want to capture from these people. Like you might ask them, how many of my books have you read, for example, and just have like a drop-down list of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you have 5 books. This is very easy to do, and there is a separate tutorial on how to create a custom submission form. So that's where you would do this, and please watch the full tutorial on how to edit or create a new submission form. List integration. There's also a video tutorial on how to create an integration with your list. But up at the top right, you'll create your integration first. Like let's say you have a MailChimp account for sending out your email newsletters. Well, you would certainly want to make sure to add these people to your email newsletter. So go ahead and select MailChimp if you've already added the MailChimp integration, and then it will actually ask you over here, which of your MailChimp lists should we add these people to? Huge time saver. Alternatively, you can always export a CSV, which is like a spreadsheet of everybody who entered your contest once the contest has ended. Email notifications, we generate these for you, but we do have a video tutorial out there on how to customize your email notifications. But the correct one should already be showing here and selected. If you click this, you'll notice that all the other submission forms, including the custom ones that you create, will be available to select as well. So the way these work, it's a little confusing that you've got 3 different email notifications, but when the way this one works, the first one, upon form submission, it will send a thank you email, and it'll basically be telling them, we are reviewing your submission right now. We will let you know when it's approved so you can share your submission. So once they submit, this is what goes out, but it hasn't yet been approved. Once you or somebody on your team approves their entry, then it's going to send a congratulations email. That's what this third one is. Upon approval of submission, send a congratulations email. And this is the one that will include all the information on like how to share it with their social network, things like that. It will even provide them with a unique link to share their particular entry. And this is, of course, editable. You can add your branding, your logo, and all of that. This one is totally optional. If you want to send an internal notification to somebody on your team saying, hey, this person entered, here's their information, here's their entry, you can do that as well. But this is totally optional. Now, under contest options, this is very similar to our other contests. So if you've already watched the other tutorials on our video contests and our photo contests, you should be very well aware of how this works. So the way this works is you can start immediately, or you can like start in a week. And if somebody shows up before the week is out, it will just tell them with a countdown timer, we haven't started yet, please come back in, and it will tell them like 2 days, 4 minutes, that type of thing. But we're going to start our contest immediately. The end date, you have a couple of options here. You have 2 contest periods or 1 contest period. The way 1 contest period works is the minute that they submit their entry, let's say it's for the month of May. It starts May 1 and ends May 31st. The way 1 contest period would work is, let's say on May 2nd, they submit their entry. They'll be able to immediately share it with their friends. Their friends click through and they can actually vote on it. And by the way, even if it hasn't been approved yet, their friends can still click through, find the entry, and vote on it. It just won't show up on the gallery page, and it won't be shared to like your social networks or anything like that until you approve it. So you don't have to worry about that part. But that's the great thing about the single contest period, is that people can submit, share, get people clicking through and already voting for it, all there within minutes. The problem with the 2 contest periods is it doesn't allow you to do that. And the way 2 contest periods works is, let's say you have, it's still the month of May, but what you're telling people is you've got 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of May, to submit your entry. And then voting starts on May 15th, and then it goes through the end of May. So you're splitting the entry period and the voting period into 2 separate periods. Some people prefer this. It's totally up to you. And this is where you would set each one of those dates, the expiration of the entry period and the expiration of the voting period. I'm going to do a single contest because that's what I prefer. So voting frequency, this is a lot of fun. You can actually make it so people can come back like every week. Let's do that. You can make it daily if you want, but if we say once per week, and this is an all May contest, if somebody enters like on the 1st of May, they can actually get 3 or 4 votes per person, per friend. That way it gets them, like, they might remind them every single week, hey, it's been a week. You can go back and vote again on my contest entry to help me win. Because if I haven't mentioned this before, the way you win is getting the most votes. That's how our contests work. That's what creates that virality, because people are out there sharing like crazy. You can get so many referrals to your campaign and to your website by using these contests. So I'm going to make the voting frequency once per week. It'll reset after each week of the campaign. After each person submits, it waits a week and then allows that individual to go again and submit another vote for your particular entry. Duplicate vote blocking, I highly recommend leaving this as standard. If you have a history of a lot of cheating in your campaigns, you might use strict, but we do have pretty firm measures in place already to find and root out duplicate voting. Like if people are trying to game the system and vote too many times for like one particular entry. If you use strict, we use IP address. And the problem with this is you might have a building with 4 people that want to vote on different entries. And if they're all on the same IP address where their computer is located, it's going to block all 4 of those people after the first person votes. So strict is not recommended. Vote counter, there's 3 options here. This is going to show how many people have voted for each entry on the gallery page. So I can either display the vote for all entries for all periods, I can hide the vote for all entries for all periods, or I can be more clever than that, which is what I like to do, which is I'm going to show all of the vote counts until the voting ends. Then I'm going to hide them. And the reason this is cool is it keeps people in a state of high anticipation awaiting the results. So once the voting ends, everyone's just got to wait. There's no indication on the page who is a front runner, who's leading, who has already won. So they're all waiting to get your email notification telling people who won. They might be checking back to your social pages to see if you announced there who won. So this is a great way to create a heightened sense of anticipation. Once we're done with our settings, we're going to move on to the design step. And there's a full tutorial on how to use our design editor to add your branding. If you want to add a picture of your book, it's really easy to do. You can just click here, for example, click the enter button and insert an image. And it's just as simple as that. You upload your image here. You can even hyperlink that image to your publishing website. So making changes, adding videos, adding images, adding links, changing the text and everything, even adding countdown timers is super, super simple. Just use the little HTML editor that appears when you click within any block of content. Note that there are 3 screens in this type of a contest. You have a home screen, which will display the entries and the name of the person. And if they shared them with a bunch of different social networks, it will actually show you which networks they shared it to, the date they submitted it. This is just a sample flag. Like you can put a flag for the winner. And there's a separate tutorial video on how to declare winners in your campaign. But you can also add little icons like first place, second place, third place, and things like that. And it automatically wraps their entry in quotes. The entry screen, this is the screen that they go to when it's time for them to submit. So this is where they will paste that alternative ending to my book. And you'll see here, this is where the rest of the form fields are. So if you created that custom form, like adding a field for like how many of my books have you read, that type of thing, it would appear here as well. And you can change the how to enter information just by clicking and typing. It's as simple as that. The thank you screen is the final screen after they submit their alternative ending. Notice how it's going to make it really easy for them to share. They're going to be able to add comments to their entry like, hey, check out my entry and please go vote for mine. And it makes it easy for them to share to the major social networks. Once you're done with your design, you're going to move on to the social share step. This is very important. I highly recommend you leave this as campaign microsite. And what this is when they share their entry, the link that is shared will go back to the main campaign page. That's where people will go to vote on the submission. If you say website, then that means that you've probably embedded the essay contest on your website, like a certain page of your website. That's when you would want to use this. But we prefer that you use Campaign Microsite, mainly because it works great. It's mobile responsive. We know everything's going to function as it should. As soon as you start embedding these on websites, there could be some sort of a JavaScript conflict or anything like that could happen. So to be on the safe side, I recommend Campaign Microsite. And just add any of your branding to the design step instead of worrying about trying to fit this thing into your existing website somehow. You can also add a default comment in that social share box that you saw in the thank you page. So this makes it really easy for them. Once they submit, they can actually, you can have it so it actually brings up a message there. So all they need to do is tweak the message a little bit and then share it. Like what you might say here is, please go vote for my entry in the alternate ending contest. Click here if you want to add a coupon or a white paper to the participant's social share. So if you want it to say like, buy my book, you could do that, and then you could have a link to your self-publishing page or your page on Amazon, so people can actually go check out your book, and it will actually share this call to action along with a shortened link to that Amazon page on every single social share that the person puts out into Facebook, Twitter, anywhere. Even if they send an email to a friend, it will include, or you could say like buy the book, because it's not really their book, it's buy this book, whichever alternate ending that you are promoting. So you can also override account moderation. By default, it's going to send you their entry, so you can approve it before it goes live to the gallery page and before it gets pushed to your social media channels if you turn that on. You can also make it so it automatically approves, which I do not recommend. But if you wanted to do that, this is where you would override the account moderation. Also publish approved submissions to your social accounts. I highly recommend this because this is an automated way to fill your social feeds with really fun user-generated content. So those alternate endings are going to be out there for your followers, your social followers, to see and engage with. So all you need to do is just choose the different social accounts that you have connected to the workspace, and it will automatically push those out. Once you're done with this step, you are finished. You can click Save and Deploy. It's automatically going to generate a link to the campaign page. So you just click here and you can copy it to your clipboard and email this to everybody in your database to encourage them to go and submit an entry to your campaign. If you want to add this to your website or blog, you can do that right here with these widgets. We automatically write all of the code for you to add the contest to your website or blog. So you can have a sticky tab. That's what this code is. And that is like a little tab over here that says alternate endings, ! Or something fun like that, or alternate ending contest. You can also embed it onto your page if you want. Use an iframe to do this. Just test it really well, make sure everything works and there are no conflicts. You can also create a pop-up. So if somebody tries to leave your book's website, it'll pop up and say, hey, create an alternate ending, and it'll actually give them the entire campaign, the entire contest page, right there on your website in a pop-up floating window. You can also create a button, which will just create code that you can pop in anywhere on your website, and there will be a button saying, hey, check out alternate endings. You can create the button text any way you like, and it will say, create an alternate ending and win, something like that. And when they click that, it will generate a pop-up floating right there on your website for people to engage with. So good luck to you in your essay contest. Once you're done with your contest, there is a contest console, but we do have a separate tutorial for how to kind of manage those contest entries and declare a winner and manage your contest. And that is all done through the contest console. So please watch that tutorial as well once it comes time for you to start managing your contest.